The breaking point. The combined council chamber fell silent as Admiral Voss completed his presentation. 12 alien representatives, each from a different founding species of the Galactic Alliance, stared at the holographic display of Earth and its colonies. "So we are in agreement?" Voss asked, his four eyes blinking in sequence, a sign of confidence among the Khazari. The human expansion presents an unacceptable risk to combined stability. Councillor Taylor, representing the aquatic Murin, rippled her dorsal fins. Their growth rate is certainly concerning. 23 colony worlds in just 70 years since achieving FTL capability. It is not merely their expansion, rumbled Drax of the silicon-based Voltar Collective. It is their unpredictability. Their decision-making appears random, even chaotic by our standards. Admiral Voss manipulated the hologram, highlighting Earth's military installations. Our intelligence suggests their combat capabilities are primitive. Kinetic weapons, limited energy systems, rudimentary shields. Yet they continue to refuse our offers of technological exchange. Perhaps they simply value their independence, suggested Ilara, the Thanay diplomat whose species had joined the Combine most recently. My own people were hesitant. Independence leads to divergence. Divergence leads to conflict, interrupted Voss. The Combine has maintained peace for 3 millennia by ensuring technological homogeneity and cultural integration. Humans reject both. The council chamber's lighting shifted to a somber blue as Supreme Director Jen entered. The ancient Prothean's hover platform glided to the center of the chamber. "I have reviewed the Admiral's assessment," Jen announced, voice crackling with age. "The human problem requires immediate resolution. The containment protocol is authorized." Several councillors exchanged uneasy glances. The containment protocol had been implemented only twice in Combine history, both instances resulting in the complete neutralization of emerging spacefaring civilizations deemed too aggressive or unpredictable for integration. Supreme Director, Ilara began, perhaps diplomatic. "The decision is made." Jen's voice left no room for debate. "Admiral Voss, you will execute the protocol within 1 standard cycle. Minimal casualties where possible, but Earth's military capabilities and shipyard facilities must be completely neutralized. Their colonies will be isolated and gradually integrated into the Combine under supervision." As the council adjourned, only Ilara remained troubled. The others had witnessed the horrors of the last great galactic war, 3,000 years before. Preventing another such conflict was the Combine's primary directive, a goal that sometimes required preemptive action. None of them could have predicted what would follow. On colony world Eden Prime, Dr. Maya Chen was watching the sunset with her daughter when the first Combine warships appeared in the sky. There had been no declaration, no ultimatum, no warning at all. The orbital defense stations, publicly described as weather monitoring systems, were the first targets. They were destroyed in seconds, silent flashes of light barely visible in the evening sky. "Mom, what are those?" 8-year-old Lily pointed at the descending ships. Maya felt a cold dread settle in her stomach. As Eden Prime's director of extraplanetary communications, she recognized the configurations. Combined military vessels, dozens of them. "We need to get to the shelter," she said, trying to keep her voice steady as she activated her emergency communicator. Authorization Chen Delta 7. First Contact Protocol Omega. It was a code she had hoped never to use, a signal that would be received by every human outpost and colony, and most importantly, by Earth itself. The ground shook as the first bombardment hit the capital city 30 kilometers away. Maya lifted Lily into her arms and ran toward the underground facility beneath their research station. Across Eden Prime, similar scenes unfolded. The Combine attack was precise, targeting military installations, spaceports, power facilities, and communications arrays. Civilian casualties were minimal, but infrastructure damage was catastrophic. Within hours, Eden Prime's ability to defend itself or call for help had been systematically eliminated. Similar attacks occurred simultaneously across 6 human colony worlds. Each followed the same pattern: precise, methodical neutralization of military capabilities with minimal civilian casualties. The Combine considered itself civilized after all. This wasn't extinction, merely containment. Admiral Voss observed the operations from his command ship. Everything was proceeding according to plan. The human military response had been disorganized and ineffective. Exactly as predicted. Their ships were outclassed, their weapons outdated. "Admiral," his communications officer reported, "we're detecting unusual activity from the human homeworld." "Elaborate," Voss ordered. "Massive power signatures activating across their solar system. And something else. Quantum disturbances at the edge of our sensor range." Voss felt the first twinge of unease. "Show me." The tactical display shifted to Earth's solar system. What he saw made no sense. Hundreds of power signatures were appearing throughout the system, signatures that hadn't been there during their previous scans. Hidden installations, he realized. They concealed their true military capacity. "Admiral, we're detecting spatial distortions. They appear to be wormholes." Impossible. The Combine had been researching stable wormhole technology for centuries without success. The energy requirements and quantum instabilities made it theoretically possible, but practically unfeasible. Yet there they were, dozens of artificial wormholes opening near every major Combined fleet position. And emerging from them were ships, human ships, but nothing like the primitive vessels they had encountered before. These were massive, sleek vessels with energy signatures that surpassed even the Combine's most advanced dreadnoughts. "All fleets, battle positions," Voss ordered, but it was already too late. The hidden human fleet struck with overwhelming force. Their weapons were unlike anything in the Combine arsenal. Directed energy weapons that bypassed shields entirely, gravitational distortion missiles that crushed Combine ships from within, and automated drone swarms that overwhelmed defense systems. At Eden Prime, Maya watched from the shelter entrance as new ships appeared in the sky, human ships that moved with impossible speed and precision. The Combine vessels were retreating, some exploding silently in the upper atmosphere. Her communicator activated. The message was brief and planet-wide. "All human settlements. This is Admiral Helena Frost of the Earth Defense Fleet. The attack on our colonies will not go unanswered. Combined forces are being neutralized. Stand by for evacuation and medical assistance. Earth stands with you." Throughout the Combined fleet, confusion turned to panic. Their careful intelligence on human military capabilities had been catastrophically wrong. But how? They had been observing Earth for decades, cataloging their technology, assessing their weapons. On his command ship, Admiral Voss received a direct communication request from Earth itself. Against his better judgment, he accepted. The hologram that appeared showed a human female in a simple gray uniform with minimal insignia. Her expression was not one of rage or triumph, but something far more terrifying. Cold, calculated resolve. "Admiral Voss," she said, "I am Admiral Frost, Earth Defense Command. Your unprovoked attack on our colonies has been classified as an act of genocide under Galactic Common Law, Section 12.3, as ratified by the Combine's own founding charter." Voss bristled. This was not genocide. We specifically minimized civilian casualties. This was a containment operation authorized by— "We are not interested in your justifications," Frost interrupted. "For 70 years, humanity has observed the Combine. We have studied your history, your tactics, your technology. We have seen how you contained the Arcosian and Teller civilizations. We knew this day might come." A chill ran down Voss's spine. The humans had been anticipating this. "What you witnessed today," Frost continued, "was a measured response. A demonstration. We activated less than 20% of our actual military capability. The Combine now faces a choice: immediate cessation of all hostilities and withdrawal from human space, or escalation." Voss found his voice. "You cannot possibly hope to stand against the full might of the Combine. We spanned thousands of worlds across 3 galactic arms. Admiral Frost's expression didn't change. Let me be clear, Admiral. Until today, humanity was civilized. We sought peaceful relations, trade, cultural exchange. We followed your diplomatic protocols despite recognizing the condescension behind them. We limited our visible military technology to avoid provoking exactly this kind of response. Her eyes hardened. That era has ended. You have attacked our people, killed our civilians, threatened our children. Now we stop being civilized. The transmission ended, leaving Voss staring at empty space. Across human space, the counterattack continued. The combined fleets that had launched the initial attack were systematically neutralized, not destroyed, but disabled, their crews captured intact. On Earth, the full military mobilization continued. Hidden shipyards throughout the solar system activated, revealing vessel classes that had never been deployed before. Defense systems that had been disguised as research stations or commercial platforms revealed their true nature. For 70 years, humanity had been preparing for this possibility. The naive, somewhat primitive spacefaring civilization, the Combine thought they knew had been a carefully crafted facade. As reports flooded in from his surviving ships, Admiral Voss realized the magnitude of the Combine's miscalculation. This wasn't going to be a simple containment operation. It had become something else entirely. The humans had a phrase for it, one that would soon echo throughout Combined space. You have awakened a sleeping giant and filled him with a terrible resolve. Consequences. Supreme Director Jen could not recall the last time the Combined Emergency Council had convened in the secure bunker beneath the capital world. Perhaps during the Hive Mind Rebellion, nearly 5 centuries ago. Explain again, he demanded, his ancient voice carrying unexpected strength. How the humans concealed their true technological capabilities from us for 7 decades. Admiral Voss, appearing via secure hologram from his retreating flagship, looked diminished. Their deception was comprehensive. Supreme Director. They showed us exactly what they wanted us to see. The ships and defense systems we observed were real, but obsolete. A facade. Impossible, growled Counselor Drax. Our intelligence networks are the finest in the galaxy. No civilization could hide. They did not hide, interrupted Ilara, the Thanae diplomat. They misdirected. We saw what we expected to see. A young, somewhat primitive species taking its first steps into the galactic community. The chamber fell silent as the tactical displays updated. Human forces had not pursued the retreating Combined fleets. Instead, they had established defensive perimeters around their colony worlds and were rapidly evacuating damaged settlements. They're showing restraint, Ilara observed. They could have pursued our forces or launched counterstrikes against our border worlds. Restraint or strategy? Jen mused. Admiral, what is your assessment of their military capabilities based on the engagement? Voss's hologram flickered slightly. Their technology exceeds our own in several critical areas. Their wormhole generation capability alone represents a quantum leap beyond our most advanced theoretical models. Their weapon systems bypassed our shields using principles our scientists cannot yet explain. But most concerning is what this reveals about their approach to us. Explain, Jen demanded. They were studying us, Voss said simply. For 70 years, while we believed we were observing them, they were systematically analyzing our technology, tactics, cultural patterns, and weaknesses. Everything they showed us was calculated to shape our perception of them. Counselor Tella's fins rippled anxiously. What do they want? Have they made demands? One transmission, Voss replied. Planet-wide, on all Combined frequencies. I have it here. The Admiral's image was replaced by a human female in a formal diplomatic attire. Her expression was severe but controlled. People of the Combine, she began. I am Ambassador Sarah Chen, speaking on behalf of the United Earth Government and all human colonies. Today, your leadership authorized an unprovoked attack on 6 human worlds, an act of war with the clear intent to cripple our civilization's growth and independence. For 70 years, humanity has observed the Combine, studied its history, and reached a disturbing conclusion. You are not the benevolent alliance you claim to be. You are an empire that eliminates any civilization that refuses to be absorbed or controlled. Your attack today was expected. We have prepared for this possibility since our first contact with Combine representatives. We recognize the patterns from your historical treatment of other independent species. Here are humanity's terms: complete military withdrawal from all human space, full reparations for damage to our colonies, a public acknowledgement of this unprovoked aggression, and finally, a binding treaty recognizing human independence and our right to defend ourselves without Combine interference. You have 48 standard hours to respond. During this time, we will not take further military action unless provoked. After this period, if our terms are not met, we will demonstrate why attacking humanity was the worst mistake in your 3,000-year history. The recording ended, leaving the council chamber in stunned silence. Arrogance, Drax finally said. One successful defense, and they think they can dictate terms to the Combine. I don't believe it's arrogance, Ilara countered. Everything they've done indicates careful planning and strategic restraint. They're giving us an opportunity to de-escalate. Zhen's hover platform rose slightly, a sign he had reached a decision. We cannot show weakness. Prepare our reserve fleets. We will demonstrate the true might of the Combine and bring these humans to heel. 48 hours later, the human response began. It started not with military strikes, but with a massive information release throughout Combine space. Every communication system, from personal devices to government networks, received the same data package. Detailed documentation of the Combine's previous containment operations against emerging civilizations, complete with casualty figures, planetary development projections of the suppressed species, and strategic analyses. The data was authenticated with the Combine's own encryption signatures, somehow extracted from their most secure archives. As public unrest spread across Combine worlds, the military response came, but not as expected. Instead of attacking Combine worlds or fleets, human forces executed precision strikes against specific military installations. Command centers found their systems compromised. Weapons platforms discovered their targeting systems mysteriously offline, and communication networks experienced selective failures. No Combine military personnel were killed. They simply found themselves unable to function. In the Combine High Command Center, chaos reigned. Reports flooded in from across Combine space, all describing the same impossible scenario. Their military infrastructure was being systematically neutralized without a single human ship being detected. How are they doing this? Supreme Director Zhen demanded. The answer came from an unexpected source, a transmission directly to the High Command Center, bypassing all security protocols. A human appeared on the main screen, an older male with gray hair and a calm demeanor. He wore no uniform or insignia. I am Dr. Daniel Rice, Director of Earth's Quantum Integration Division. I believe you're wondering how we're accessing your systems and neutralizing your military capabilities without firing a shot. He smiled slightly. 70 years ago, when we first encountered Combine technology, we discovered something fascinating, a fundamental flaw in your quantum encryption methodology. Rather than exploiting it immediately, we studied it, expanded our understanding, and waited. Every piece of Combine technology contains this same quantum signature, a backdoor, if you will. Your ships, your weapons, your communication networks, all of them designed with the same fundamental architecture. We could have used this to destroy you. Instead, we're simply turning things off. No casualties, no destruction, just the removal of your ability to wage war. Zhen found his voice. This is an act of war beyond. No, Dr. Reyes interrupted. An act of war was your attack on our colonies. This is a demonstration of restraint. We have the capability to erase the Combine as a political entity, but instead, we're choosing to simply remove your ability to harm us." His expression hardened. "Your leadership authorized the deaths of thousands of human civilians today. In response, we have not taken a single Combine life. Remember that when you consider your next move." The transmission ended. In the following days, the true extent of human technological superiority became apparent. Every Combine military vessel larger than a scout ship found its propulsion and weapons systems inoperable. Defense stations throughout Combine space reported similar failures. Even personal weapons carried by Combine security forces mysteriously ceased functioning. And throughout it all, the information release continued, spreading the truth about the Combine's history of containment operations to every world in their territory. Public protests erupted on core Combine worlds. The carefully maintained narrative of benevolent leadership collapsed under the weight of revealed truths. Several member species that had joined the alliance within the last millennium began formal withdrawal proceedings. 7 days after the initial attack on human colonies, Supreme Director Jen faced the unavoidable reality. The Combine had lost, not just militarily, but morally. The peace conference was held on neutral territory, a space station constructed specifically for the purpose at the midpoint between Earth and the Combine capital. In a final demonstration of their capabilities, humans had built the massive structure in just 3 days. Ambassador Chen led the human delegation. Across the table sat Supreme Director Jen, Admiral Voss, and representatives from all 12 founding Combined species. "We want to be clear," Chen began. "Humanity does not seek the dissolution of the Combine or revenge for your attack. We seek recognition of our independence and assurance that such aggression will never be repeated. Not against us, not against any emerging civilization." Jen's ancient eyes studied her. "You have humbled us, Ambassador, a feat I did not believe possible after 3 millennia of combined supremacy. The question now facing us is simple. What kind of galaxy do humans envision?" Chen's expression softened slightly. "One of genuine cooperation, not forced homogeneity. One where different evolutionary paths and cultural developments are seen as strengths, not threats. One where technology is used to elevate, not subjugate." She gestured and a holographic display appeared, showing detailed plans for reversing the damage to combined military systems and infrastructure. "We have no desire to leave the Combine defenseless. Once the peace treaty is ratified, we will restore functionality to your essential systems and provide technical assistance to prevent exploitation of the quantum vulnerability we identified." Admiral Voss leaned forward. "Why show such restraint? You could have destroyed us. Any other species would have." "That's precisely why we didn't," Chen replied. "Humanity's history is filled with conflicts where victory led to oppression, which led to resistance, which led to more conflict. An endless cycle. We chose to break that cycle." She met his four-eyed gaze steadily. The goal was never to replace the Combine as the dominant power, but to create a galaxy where the concept of dominant power becomes obsolete. The negotiations continued for weeks, resulting in a comprehensive treaty that transformed the fundamental nature of the Combine. No longer would it function as a homogenizing force that absorbed or contained emerging civilizations. Instead, it would become a true collaborative alliance of independent species. As the final documents were signed, Ilara of the Thanai approached Ambassador Chen privately. "There's something I still don't understand," she said. "If humanity possessed such advanced technology, why maintain the facade of being less developed? Why not simply reveal your true capabilities from the beginning?" Chen smiled sadly. "Would you have accepted us as equals if we had arrived with technology that surpassed your own? Or would you have seen us as an even greater threat requiring immediate containment?" Understanding dawned in Ilara's eyes. "You needed us to underestimate you." "We needed time," Chen corrected. "Time to understand the Combine. Time to prepare defenses. Time to develop a response that wouldn't result in galactic war." She looked out at the stars visible through the station's viewing port. "Humanity learned long ago that revealing technological superiority often provokes fear rather than respect. We chose to appear harmless while preparing for the worst. And now, Ilara asked. Now we build something better, Chen replied. Together. Throughout human and combined space, the message spread. The conflict was over. A new era had begun, one founded not on technological homogeneity or cultural assimilation, but on genuine cooperation and mutual respect. On rebuilt Eden Prime, Dr. Maya Chen watched the sunrise with her daughter. The scars of the attack were still visible, but reconstruction was well underway. Mom, Lily asked, why did they attack us? Maya considered the question carefully. They were afraid, sweetheart. Afraid of how different we are. Afraid of what we might become. And now? Now they're learning what we've known all along, that different doesn't mean dangerous. That the greatest strength comes not from forcing everyone to be the same, but from bringing together different perspectives and ideas. She pointed to the new buildings rising in the distance, structures that combine human and combine architectural elements in a harmonious blend. That's the future we're building. Not just for us, but for everyone. Across the galaxy, that future was taking shape, a testament to humanity's most powerful weapon. The capacity to choose restraint over revenge, cooperation over domination, and hope over fear. Even when they had every reason to stop being civilized, they had instead redefined what civilization could be. Even when they had every reason to stop being civilized, they had instead redefined what civilization could be.